Bereshit, in the beginning. With one Hebrew word, a revolution blazed forth. A story came into being that has been told and retold more than any other story in history. And it's a story that has changed the course of the world. There are so many rich and provocative ideas crammed into this one parsha. This story was, after all, meant to counter all of the other creation myths of the time. It set forth a new and bold vision for the world. Instead of humans being slaves for gods, God teaches us we are all worthy of a day of rest. Instead of creation being the result of a cosmic war, in Torah, creation is the result of words and ideas, teaching us the power of language and speech. Instead of glorifying great battles on earth that would mirror the heavenly wars, God chastises the first murderer, teaching us all that we are our brother's keeper. Instead of imagining humans as playthings for deities on high, God tells us we are all made in the divine image, teaching us all humans have inherent dignity. And instead of teaching that humans are stuck in predetermined fate, we learn that we have the power and responsibility of free will. There is so much to parse and to examine, so much about the story of creation that impacts our sense of purpose and place, of why humanity is here at all, and what role we have with the lifespan that we have been gifted. It's easy to lose sight of one of the most iconic and one of the most important lessons of Parshat Bereshit. In order to recover that vital lesson, we have to focus ourselves, which is not fun in a parsha as exciting as this one. So we'll have to start by asking the fundamental question we should ask about all stories when we encounter them. With whom are we meant to identify? Whose perspective are we meant to inhabit? As moderns, it's tempting to identify as God. As postmoderns, it's tempting to identify as the snake. But we are meant to see ourselves as Ha-Adam, the very first person. And what do we learn from him? Not a whole lot. He might have been one of the most famous characters in all of Western civilization, but if you stop and think about it, we know shockingly little about his life, especially when we consider the fact that he lived 930 years. That is long, even by biblical standards. It's not the longest lifespan in Torah, but it's quite close. But despite his longevity, all 930 years fit into only 5 chapters of text. To give you a sense of scale, Abraham only lives 137 years only. And his life fills 25 chapters. Moses lives 120 years, giving rise to the very famous phrase, Ad Mea Ve'esrim. And the events of his life fill 137 chapters of Torah. So Torah spends almost no time telling us about Adam. We get a passing reference that Adam had sons and daughters and that he dies. But everything else, all the other events of Adam's life that you and I know, the garden, the snake, Eve, the apple, all of that fits into a narrative that lasted less than a full day. Torah is suggesting that all we need to know about Adam, we learned between his creation on day 6 and his subsequent expulsion from the Garden of Eden, either on day 6 or 7, depending on which Jewish text you choose to read. But with an astounding lifespan of 930 years, all that's worth knowing about Adam, we can learn in less than 47 hours with him. So what are we supposed to take away from this brief moment in time? If everything we can learn about him can be traced to this one singular event, what is the message for us? Because Adam is, after all, humanity's parent. He is an archetypal figure who represents all of common humanity, including our inclinations and our natures, our foibles and our faculties. So what is Torah trying to teach us about the essence of the human condition? Adam ultimately teaches us an important attitude, a way of facing the world. Elie Wiesel, the noted author and Holocaust survivor and Jewish thinker, captures up this lesson beautifully in his commentary. He writes, "Expelled from paradise, Adam did not give in to resignation. He had the courage to get up and begin anew. According to Jewish tradition, when God created man, God gave him a secret. And that secret was not how to begin, but how to begin again." The first lesson Torah teaches us is that we will make mistakes. We will fail, we will disappoint, we will fall terribly short and face terrible consequences. We will till and tend gardens only to find that one day the gates of them are barred to us. That's just life. That is the lot of each and every one of us at some point. We will all build a paradise that we will eventually lose. That is the human condition. But it is not the final word. The first human being teaches us the most vital life lesson of all, that we have been gifted the incredible power of beginning again. And as long as we do not endlessly seek to return to what we lost, as long as we seek out and find fellowship with someone who will walk a new road beside us, as long as we remember that God is still an ally, there is a new beginning to make over a horizon we have not yet explored. So in the beginning, we learn how to begin again and again and again.